I was so nervous. Before my mission, I was never one for talking to people. And even through my mission, I was never one for talking to people. So getting out there, knowing that within a day I was going to be knocking on doors and trying to talk to people in a language that wasn't even my own was so scary. But I was able to do it. I knew it was the right thing to do. And so even though I had no idea what I was doing, it went all right. Indiana's flat. It's so flat. I've always lived in places where there's been, some elevation changes, and there wasn't any in Indiana. When I got out there, I remember meeting the mission president and the assistants to the president in the airport, and I remember one of the assistants, Elder Heibarger. Just like the moment that I walked up to him, I could tell that like he loved everybody in that room, and there was no doubt in his mind that everyone was awesome, and that was something that meant a lot to me my first day. Obviously, because I can still remember it 6.5 years later, and yeah, I remember driving from the airport to the mission home, and as I was driving along, I looked out the car window and saw an apartment complex, and I was like, I might end up living there someday. And the next day I was living there. It was that same complex, and I was living in one of the apartments I was looking at. And yeah, that's what I remember from the beginning of the mission there. Talking to people was not something I enjoyed doing, and I was not the best at coming up with conversation. I was not the best at even presenting something that I knew what I was supposed to talk about. I still couldn't do it. And so my whole mission, I just really struggled. And I always felt bad because I was trying so hard to do it, and I could never, ever get comfortable doing that. And I was always scared. But, it had more to do with the effort than the result. And I've become a lot more social since then. So I'm sure that if I were to go out now, I could just, talk to a lot more people than I did. But, I went when I did, and the Lord still used me even with that weakness, and great things happened despite the fact that I had no idea how to, talk with someone on the street.